Hello, my name is Scott Kernan, and I'm the Secretary for the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. There are some significant changes underway that we believe will have a positive impact on our inmates, staff, families, and communities. Some of the changes have already taken effect. Others are rolling out over the coming months, and I wanted to tell you how we are ramping up our rehabilitative efforts and incentivizing inmates to use their time productively while in prison. I'm aware of the great work that is going on in our prisons in our academic, vocational, self-help, substance abuse, innovative grants, cognitive behavior, and reentry programs, to name a few, and all changing the way we incarcerate people and the way you can improve yourself while serving your time in prison. Many inmates are taking advantage of these opportunities. If you succeed, you can earn more credits and earn them quicker. Ultimately, this will reduce recidivism and victimization. A little later, I'll discuss the changes to family visiting as well as inmate classification and disciplinary regulations. But let's start with Prop 57 and the upcoming credit changes and expansion of the nonviolent parole process. Governor Brown supported the passage of Prop 57 in last November's election. The spirit behind Prop 57 is the belief that people can change, and when given the opportunity, inmates can learn about themselves and contribute something positive to their peers, their community, and our state. Prop 57 places into regulations expanded eligibility for inmates to earn their way out of prison through sustained positive behavior. Prop 57 provides CDCR the authority to do several things. It will codify and expand the nonviolent parole process for offenders. It will modestly expand credit earnings for some categories of inmates. It will enhance eligibility for milestone programs that are currently available in the system. It will recognize significant educational achievement with additional milestones, and it will apply rehabilitative achievement credits intended for inmates participating in self-help programs we have throughout our institutions. Here are some details on the nonviolent parole process. Qualifying inmates who complete the full term of their primary sentence, not counting enhancements or alternative sentences, will have the ability, if they meet the public safety screens, to participate in the parole suitability process. All inmates currently serving a conviction for a nonviolent offense as defined by penal code will be able to participate in this parole process. As you know, that does not mean an automatic release. What it does mean is that your own behavior will be considered by a deputy commissioner, and if they believe that you do not pose a threat to the safety of our communities, you can earn parole consideration. The public safety screens for inmates will be codified in regulations, but they stipulate that the following inmates will be excluded from this new parole process. Those that have been housed in a restricted housing unit for misconduct. Inmates that have been in segregated housing units in the past 5 years for disciplinary reasons or for participation in gang activity. If they have been denied privileges for disciplinary behavior, they will be excluded for a period of 12 months. If they've been found guilty of violent behavior, rape, arson, possession of a weapon, or attempted escape within the past 5 years. If they've been found guilty of 2 or more in-prison violations in the past 12 months, then they'll be excluded for 12 months. If they've been found guilty of in-prison violations due to participation in gang activities within the past 12 months and have been found guilty of drug-related offenses or refused to provide a urine sample within the last 12 months. And third striker inmates and inmates with violent enhancements are not included in this process. Another aspect of Prop 57 is credit earning. The process is complex, but here's a quick overview. More details will be coming your way. Inmates currently earning from 0 to 15% credits will go to a category earning 20%. Striker inmates currently earning credits from 0 to 33 1/3% will all go to 33 1/3%. And camp inmates who have been on a case-by-case review approved for the camp program will go from a maximum credit earning of 15% to day for day. These changes will all have an impact on your earliest possible release date. Once these credits go into effect, which we anticipate will be on May 1st, 2017, your dates will be recalculated and you'll receive an update on your status in the months to come. I mentioned milestone credits, and they include programs such as academic, vocational, and some volunteer programs, among many others. Under Prop 57 authority, we will be expanding these credits. Participating in and completing these programs may get you an additional 12 weeks per year off your sentence. Currently, only inmates serving nonviolent offenses are eligible for this program. The new regulations will make milestone programs available to all inmates, with the exception of condemned inmates and those serving life without the possibility of parole sentences. Milestone credits are currently capped at a maximum of 6 weeks in a 12-month consecutive period. The new regulations will expand the milestone credits to 12 weeks in a 12-month consecutive period. Additionally, we wanted to recognize the significant achievements of getting higher education degrees, such as an AA or a BA, and also the Offender Mentor Certification Program that's available at several of our prisons. Keeping in mind that these are achievements that can take years to accomplish, under Prop 57, inmates will be given 3 to 6 month one-time reductions for completing higher education degrees. We anticipate that these credits will take effect in August of 2017, but will be applied retrospectively. That means if you accomplish any of these achievements during your incarceration, we will retroactively give you the one-time reduction under Prop 57. Additionally, hundreds of self-help programs that we have throughout the institutions are intended to provide meaningful rehabilitative programming to our inmate population. Currently, there is no credit attached to these self-help programs. Prop 57 changes that and provides up to 1 month a year off of an inmate's sentence for participating in up to 208 hours of self-help programs. If an inmate spends up to 4 hours per week participating in these programs, he or she can earn up to an additional 1 month off their sentence. The department is working through which self-help and volunteer programs will qualify for these credits. Much more information on Prop 57 and the credit earning opportunities through positive programming will be provided in the coming weeks and months. Let's move on to family visiting changes. The law on family visits was changed in July of 2016, and it allowed us to permit family visiting for lifers and LWOPs who meet the specific criteria. A memorandum was issued in February to start allowing lifers and LWOPs to participate in the program. I know that lifers and LWOPs and long-term offenders in our system are a real stability in our institutions, and we also understand that family unification is an important part of rehabilitation. But it's a privilege that must be earned. Inmates that involve themselves with drug activity, bad drug tests, or possession of cell phones will be excluded from the family visiting program for a period of time. We are codifying the changes into regulations that will change the family visiting criteria and add more emphasis on positive behavior. Now let's move on to the changes in classification for inmates, which also recognizes and rewards sustained positive behavior by inmates. These changes recognize that the prison staff are in the best position to know which inmates are making positive changes. I want to give staff the flexibility to further help CDCR inmates who are improving their lives. The changes in inmate classification and disciplinary regulations are very much in the same spirit as Prop 57. We want to give inmates with sustained good behavior the opportunity to get to lower level institutions and facilities where there are even more programming opportunities. Some of the classification changes that I will now discuss are for specific groups, while others are for all groups. LWOP inmates that have been excluded from being placed into Level 2 institutions will now have the opportunity to be placed in Level 2 facilities with a lethal electrified fence. Lifer inmates who meet specific criteria that will be outlined in the regulations will be authorized to be housed in secured Level 1 facilities. This is to make programming and job opportunities more available to those who work hard. This will be especially important for lifer inmates as they look at how they can gain parole consideration under Prop 57. In addition, there are close custody regulations that have precluded inmates from getting into work change areas and other types of positive rehabilitative programming. Under the new regulations, the former Close A and Close B custody designations have been consolidated into one close custody designation, and the time an inmate must remain in close custody has been reduced based upon individual behavior. This will expand an inmate's ability to get to rehabilitative programs and to participate in evening programming. The department has long determined that an inmate who has committed a violent crime and has a VIO determinant is automatically excluded from being housed in lower level institutions. Regulations will now allow for that VIO determinant to be removed only if the warden as well as the institution classification committee determine that an inmate has positively programmed. Current regulations motivate inmates to refuse urinalysis testing. We will now be expanding the sanctions for refusing urinalysis testing. We will also be expanding the availability of substance abuse programs at all institutions by July of 2017. That's because we want inmates that have a drug problem to seek help. All of these changes are intended to place accountability and responsibility on every individual in our system. It is my sincere hope that all of you will participate in these programs and that you will take advantage of the lessons they can teach you. Let me remind you that these programs and activities are a privilege and not a right. Expansion of these programs throughout the system is occurring now and will result in inmates having more opportunities to change and being able to seek a better life. In turn, that will reduce recidivism and victimization. As I said earlier, more information will be forthcoming. Nowhere in the country is a system fundamentally changing how we incarcerate people. You have an opportunity to earn your way to an early release, but it will be your responsibility to take advantage of it. For you, your loved ones, and the good of society, I hope you will take advantage of this opportunity. Thanks for your attention.